Greetings, giving thanks, respect and due and honor to His Majesty, Haile Selassie I, Rastafari. No one claims to know for sure who wrote the Gospels. The Book of Mark is known to be the oldest of the four. The account of Acts 12:12 speaks about a man named John, whose surname was Mark, the son of one Mary. This John is said to have been seen with the disciples preaching in the synagogues in Acts 13:5. He is also seen departing in Acts 13:13 to Jerusalem, where he is said to be a native. And in Acts 15:39, Barnabas took Mark after there was a certain quarrel. Peter, in the first of Peter, chapter 5:13, acknowledges and salutes his brethren Marcus from in Rome. The second Timothy 4:11 acknowledges Marcus as a value to the ministry. The same verse says, "Only Luke is with me." This was written by Paul in reference to what is known to be the Luke who wrote the Gospel of Luke, who was said in Colossians to have been a physician in chapter 4:14. The book of John, mysterious account of the Lord. Scholars have indicated is written by John the Elder, as the first chapter, the first verse of both the second and third John in the epistles indicates. However, Revelation is only stated to be written by one John in Revelation 1:1, as well as Revelation 1:9. The scholars have pointed to the similarities of those books, indicate that they were most likely written by John the Elder. However, the Gospel could be an entirely different story, knowing that John the Elder was a certain disciple, a student of John the Apostle, who was also known to be one of the sons of thunder. He was a son of Zebedee, and his brother is James. There is many accounts in the Gospel of John where it points to a certain beloved disciple. Upon reading, it is evident that this is not Simon Peter, and both John and James were known to be very close to the Christ. These accounts are 13:23, 19:26, 20 2, 21:7, and 21:20. The author of the Gospel of John reveals himself as being so, called John, in both the first chapter, verse 15, and the 21st chapter, verse 24. The book of Matthew has been observed to be written by one man named Matthew, who was also a disciple. He was a publican. As we know, a decree had gone out throughout the land from Augustus Caesar, and there were tax collectors. This man was found by the Christ in the way in chapter 9, verse 9 of the book Matthew, and he was called to eat and dine and sup with the Lord. The Pharisees took it upon themselves as an opportunity to tempt and to take away those disciples of the Christ by saying, "Why does your master eat with publicans and sinners?" and therefore accusing the Christ of being less than holy. However, we know that the Christ came not for righteous, but to call sinners to repentance. And so, let us not blame those for not knowing the way. Yet, if we have shown them and they have chosen to turn away, they must be guilty. RasReport.